Guys, it's Lori. So I'm sitting here. It's funny, I live by a lake and I'm in Manchester. I had to drop off my son and my grandson, and I stopped at this lake in Manchester, which is nowhere near as nice as the lakes that I live right next to. But I don't know, I just felt drawn to come here. Have you ever felt very much alone with a lot of people around you? That's how it is, I guess, for a lot of empaths. So if you're feeling drained, if you're feeling very much alone, you're not alone right now. I mean, it happens. It happens to everybody, but especially when you're an empath or very empathetic, it can happen more often than not. And right now, we're in a time of very heavy energy. I know a lot of planets were retrograde and they've just gone direct. I think, I don't know if all of them have, but for the most part, most of them have. So it's supposed to lighten things up a little bit. But regardless of what planet's doing what, or what moon phase we're in, or we still have one God, and we have the God of this world, small g, and there's a constant battle going on. And recently, that battle has become more apparent. I'm not going to say it's become stronger because it's always been there. The battle's always been there since the beginning of time. And I'm sure that there are times in history long before this generation or this society as we know it came to be. It was probably heavy energy just like it is now, or even worse. But right now the energy is very heavy. So if you're feeling that way, please know you're not alone, and reach out. Don't let it get the best of you. Okay? And kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today is deception and how easy it is to be deceived. Blessings, when we talk about being blessed, when we talk about knowing God, having faith, that kind of stuff. And then there's like a whole culture now claiming to be spiritual, but very self-centered and of this world. And it's disguised so well that even some who are or are genuine in the faith are falling for it. And I've noticed just recently watching some younger people who are truly, striving to know the truth and being given some really bad worldly advice and taking it because the people giving it seem to succeed in this world. Now, I'm not saying anybody who's successful in this world is not of God. That's not true, because God blesses who he chooses, and he blesses how he chooses. So he can make some of his people billionaires, So it doesn't mean if you have a lot of worldly possessions that you are not of God. That's not what I mean at all. And I know a lot of times I talk about worldly stuff, but please don't misunderstand me. Somebody can be very much not of God and have a lot of worldly possessions, or somebody can be very much of this world and be broke, but still really of this world. So, like if you're baking a cake and you have all the best ingredients from scratch, you have everything, you go out of your way to make sure everything's fresh and pure and really good, and everything's great, all the ingredients are great, and you add this much dog poop, it still ruins the whole cake. You still aren't going to want to eat that cake. Well, that's how it is with some of this garbage that's out there passing off as spirituality. They put a bunch of truth in there and add in a bunch of lies that sound like truth, or they take a truth and twist it to mean something more worldly. See, we got to remember our enemy is very clever, and he's not stupid. I mean, if he was stupid, he'd show up in horns and, a tail and look like a dragon or whatever, like some depict him to be. But that's not the case at all. He may show up as your dream come true. He may show up as defeat. He may show up as success. He may show up as the man or woman of your dreams. He may show up as the job of your dreams. He may show up as drug addiction. He may show up as suicidal thoughts. It's not like he always shows up in a negative light. It's not like he always shows up in a positive light. That's why we have to really know truth in order not to be fooled. It's really a hard one. And I notice a lot of people falling for deception disguised as truth. It sounds good. It makes you feel good. It sounds about right, you know. It's just really scary to me. So just watch out for the deception and the heavy energy. I'm going to move on. I'm going to start talking about different forms of deception, but I don't want to go on and on and on in one video. So pay attention to this series. This is just kind of the introduction. I know I haven't really taught anything here. I would love to get a group started, and I'm waiting for somebody to show interest, and I'll do it. We're in a really important time right now. All time is important. I mean, you know what? Any of us could die at any moment. I could have a massive heart attack right now and cross over. You could go out and get hit by a car and cross over. You know, life is precious, life is short, and it's sacred. And it could end at any moment. None of us knows when it's going to end. Not all of us have not all of us are blessed to know that it's coming, you know. And maybe it's a blessing not to know. I don't know. We all know it's coming at some point. None of us know when. So isn't it better if we're in the right spot where we need to be? But isn't it funny that, yeah, I mean, we're talking about eternity, and absolutely that's important. But what do we worry about day to day? We worry about the stuff of this world most of the time, right? And I'm not judging anybody or downing anybody for that. I mean, I'm guilty as well. But, you know, if you peel the layers, what's really going to matter? My father used to say, if it's not going to matter in 100 years from now, don't worry about it. Think about that, you know? So, in other words, what's important? What's important is your relationship with God and your relationship with other people and the mark you make on this world. Because in 100 years, chances are you're not going to be here. That's what he meant. If it's not going to matter in 100 years, well, how is it going to matter in 100 years? Well, how you treat people is going to matter. The impact that you have and your eternity. And other people's eternity. Are you leading people, you know, helping to guide them in a right path? Are you helping to guide them in a wrong path? You know, I guess hearing from these younger people recently, it's really concerning to me. Because they're being taught. See, what's happening is these lies are being infiltrated into, well, it's always been in psychiatry, but recovery programs where it's a big issue now, addiction, into, you know, family counseling, into the schools. You know, it's like younger and younger people are being taught the lie. Or several lies, you know. Even people that think they're quote-unquote woke are believing a lie, right? So it's really, really important. So I'm going to start a series on different deceptions, different truths, and how we know the difference. Sorry to ramble on this video. I've spent almost 10 minutes just introducing what I'm going to be doing. But, you know, if you could pray for myself, there's a lot going on in my family. We're still in the middle of a spiritual, financial, emotional crisis right now. My health isn't good, and, you know, I just, hopefully I'm able to get some insurance that'll cover more. It's going to cost a little more, but hopefully it'll work out in the long run. yeah, there's a whole lot. So yeah, I mean, donations are great if you could do it. If you could join the group, that would be great too. But even so, even if you can't, thanks for watching, and thanks for, hopefully I'm helping you with some of this advice. And watch the series. And of course, I'm still going to be posting stories about all the crazy stuff that's happened in my life supernaturally. All right, I will talk to you guys soon. I'm going to be uploading a couple different videos today, so I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.